Typically, when someone refers to a community resource, they mean an organization that serves a particular geographical area or group of people by providing tools to help that community grow in positive ways and improve the quality of life for the people in that community. Coming up on Polk Place, we'll hear from Heartland for Children about a community resources available during the COVID-19 global pandemic. Make sure you stick around. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio is Varuch Simmons. Varuch is a prevention resource specialist for Heartland for Children. How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Thankful to be here.
So as we were talking before the interview got started, the new normal, working from home. As we can see, the beard's looking good.
Nice.
Talk to me a little bit about, if you will, what Heartland for Children does.
Sure. Heartland for Children is the lead community care agency that oversees the child welfare system for Hardy, Highlands, and Polk counties. So basically, we run the spectrum from providing those case management services to meeting all of the children's needs, whether it's therapeutic or medical, and then ensuring that they find permanency, whether it be through their families, being reunified with their families, or through adoption.
Now, what you guys do is kind of a face-to-face thing within the community. How has the COVID-19 response affected what you do and how you do it within the community?
Yeah, so it's definitely, been challenging, but, if it's one thing I think we're great at in our community is resilience. So we aren't able to, hold meetings, or I know for our foster care or adoptive classes, we're not able to do those in person, but it has allowed us the opportunity to evolve and offer those services online. And, we found great success in that. We for just prevention and community meetings, we're now able to see people participating at greater levels. For some of our foster care info nights, we see that attendance is greater because families don't have the same challenges of figuring out a babysitter and then traveling. They can just log on and learn more. So I think while it has posed some challenges for our agency in particular, we've adapted pretty well, and we continue to do the great work that we're known for.
One thing that you guys are great at is providing the resources that families need. And really, with what's going on, not only in our community, but across the United States, people are needing those resources more. Talk about what you can provide to those who need it the most.
Yeah, well, one of the really cool and unique things about my position as Heartland is that I get to serve on our child abuse prevention and permanency task forces throughout the 3 counties that we serve. Now, one of the ways of preventing child abuse is ensuring that we provide families help before any harm or anything occurs. So as part of that group, which is a coalition of social service providers throughout our community. So we've got representation from the health department, from United Way, from Healthy Start, Healthy Families, our teen pregnancy Prevention Alliance. So it's just a grouping of all of the helpers throughout our community. And as part of that, we try to see, where are those gaps throughout our community and how can we best connect folks through that. So currently for COVID, we've developed a one-page resource that outlines, for instance, if a family may be, just struggling with, finding resources for kids, there's a resource for that. If it's, a mental health issue, or you feel that you need some support in that realm, we have the Children's Home Society, their warm line, where you can call and find a licensed therapist and just have someone to talk to. Peace River Center has their crisis mobilization unit, where they're providing that in-person service to, if you feel like a situation's beyond your control. And I know last month or the month prior, you had United Way here, and they talked about their partnership with GiveWell, and they have supported our community in a major way, because they have allowed, not only provided the funding mechanism, but they've given money to a lot of our local nonprofits to continue to serve families in these trying times. So it's really amazing when we talk about our community to see, we really truly do live in a community that cares, because people have stepped up in such major ways. So, as far as resources go, I think our community has a lot to offer. It's just how do we connect those folks in need to those resources.
What are you noticing that people need the most during these times?
It's a two-faced question. I think what people need the most right now is support. As a parent who's working from home, it's very difficult where you feel torn, and you've got so much responsibilities and so much different things competing for your attention. But support can look very different for a lot of people. So, for instance, for one family, they may need some support in finding food. So if you have the means and they're in need, provide them a meal. For another family, they just may need a break. So if it's your neighbor, take the kids out on a walk, give the parents like an hour or so just to decompress and have some self-care. And then, it really varies based on the need of that family, but I think what we need most is to be in touch with each other, to communicate with each other, to connect those who are in need with the resources that they do need. So I think that's our biggest need right now.
Talk about the importance, with the social distancing and working from home. Talk about the importance of getting out and seeing other people, just as as an escape from the new norm. Maybe saying hello to a neighbor, of course social distancing, but still having that contact with others.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Over the last 3 months, I've seen neighbors that didn't even know live there. Children are playing. I didn't even know that many children lived on my street. It's very important that as humans we're social creatures, and the social distancing does provide some constraints on that. But last night we picked up dinner at a local restaurant, and it was interesting to see there was a group of teenagers that were just in a circle tailgating on their truck beds, maintaining social distancing, but still being able to maintain those social bonds. So I think as human beings we're resilient, and we're gonna find creative ways to do that. So I think what's important is that we try, we make it, and we make sure we make an effort to maintain those connections. So for those of you who may have introverted friends, check in on them.
As you mentioned earlier, partners are the key to success in any program. Talk about some of those partners and what they do to help you guys fulfill your mission within this county.
Yeah. So partners look different based on the mission. I think we're blessed in the sense of we've had partners that reach out in the capacity of donors that have provided funding to some of our families. Well, provided funding to Heartland to serve some of those families who may have our foster families that may have lost jobs or been impacted, by COVID. We've had funders and donors that have reached out and say, we understand that kids aren't able to see their siblings as much and they're not able to go to school, so how can we help? And that help comes in the form of providing laptops for these kids so they're able to see their siblings, and just function and have that connection that we were just talking about. But also, we have great partnerships with for instance, the Department of Health, which has been instrumental in guiding us and advising us how we go about conducting our affairs as an agency and just as a community. And then when we look at our social service providers, we're really seeing people pairing up to ensure that there's no duplication of resources, but we're really trying to make the most out of the limited resources that we do have. So I'd like to say that, just through all the work that we do, we have so many great partners that are committed to the families throughout our county.
Where can people go to find out more information about what you guys do, the resources available, and the partners that you work with? What's the best way for people to find out more?
The best way, I would say, is through the Heartland's website. So that's heartlandforchildren.org. And you'll be able to get information about Bertha, which is a web-based resource platform that you just go on, enter your zip code, and it'll provide you with all of the resources that serve your community. You can reach out to United Way's 211 or just any of your traditional supports. I think a lot of our agencies now more than ever have ramped up their support because the need is so great. So I would just encourage folks to just reach out.
We have just a few minutes left with the time that we have. Want you to let the folks know what they need to know about what you guys can do for them.
I think it's and I say this not as Heartland, but as a member of our Polk County Child Abuse Prevention and Permanency Task Force, that the greatest thing that we can do is just provide support. So utilizing those resources, whether if it's the food drops that United Way is providing, or ensuring that our kids go to the summer break spots for those who may be in need of additional food, or if for mental health, reaching out to Children's Home Society or Peace River or Tri-County Human Services, but just being able to ask for help. I think that's the message that we'd like to leave, that for folks, one, be confident in knowing that you're in a community that cares, and there are folks that are willing to support you and want to see what's best for you. And we know, especially for parents, that parents want to do what's best for their kids. So just being able to reach out for support and trust that those that are in the helping capacity are ready and willing to help you.
Well, Varuch, I want to thank you for coming in. Thank you for all the great information. And come back and see me again, will you?
Definitely.
Most parents want to do what's best for their children, especially right now during the global fight against COVID-19. During this unprecedented time, Heartland for Children and the Polk County Child Abuse Prevention Task Force are working closely with the community partners to make sure children and families within our foster care system and the community at large have the resources and the support they need to maintain safe and nurturing environments. Parents in our community know that they can be a better parent with support to end up with the best outcomes possible for children through this challenging time. They need everyone to take part in making great childhoods happen. There are many resources available throughout the community, from resource guides to food drops. There are countless ways we can support families during this time. There has also been a noted decline in reports to the Child Abuse Hotline. Now more than ever, we as a community need to be vigilant of our children. Check out the Heartland for Children COVID-19 resource page on their website at www.heartlandforchildren.org, or you can give them a call at 863-519-8900.